Kenny did. I think this one. This looks like our talk. Go when you're last in line. Yeah.
That was really good.
We're going to have a few minutes. We're going to focus on the campaign, but we wanted to introduce the team of people who've been involved with the Capitol Campaign Steering Committee. Could you guys please stand for a moment, and Steve's going to introduce you.
We have our wonderful committee, starting certainly not least with Diane Dougherty. Ann Smith is my co-chair. We have Stu Creelman, we have Jeff Peterson, and we have Frank Smith as well. So we get 2 for 1 out of them. Who have I missed? I think that's
Marika.
it. Oh, Marika Burt, my God. Marika, who is doing all the, when we get done raising money, somebody's got to decide how to spend it. That's Marika. But she's also a great help in the rest of the campaign. So we, a couple things have happened too. One, you'll see the case statement in front of you. Jeff Peterson did a lot of work on that. We also had a tremendous amount of support from Becky Lindsay, sorry, I knew I'd get it backwards, who is a professional in the field and gave us some tremendous input. So thank you, Becky. Video was done by a local company, and I'm not going to say any more about it other than just let you see it.
For more than 300 years, First Church of Christ in Longmeadow has stood in the heart of this community, a place for faith, fellowship, and love. One of my favorite places in our building is the front steps of our church, especially when the doors are wide open. It's the place where our community connects with our congregation and where our congregation connects with our community. So the name of our campaign is Doors Wide Open, and in a day and age where between 10 and 15,000 churches are closing their doors for good every year, it makes me realize how important it is that we continue to be a church that not only has our doors open, but wide open for the community and inviting people to come in and be a part of what we're doing.
We really see ourselves as stewards to not only our congregation, but to our entire community. This building is a living, breathing thing in that sense. It is very historic. It needs a lot of support in order to keep it preserved. It's organic in the sense that it's giving to the community through the work that's done in here. And we need to do everything we can to keep that going.
Some churches in historic buildings like ours see their buildings as an albatross because of the amount of cost of upkeep and maintenance. In our church, we like to see it as an asset, not an albatross. Our historic building is one of a kind. They don't make buildings like this anymore. And it's an opportunity for us to continue to utilize it for the community.
My family first became familiar with First Church through the community events they held. We attended the Easter egg hunt, the trunk or treat, the Christmas fair, and then started attending service. My Girl Scout troop meets here weekly. It's 15 girls from kindergarten to 3rd grade. I'm also on a nonprofit group for moms. We have our biannual clothing swap that serves the larger community.
I started coming to First Church many years ago, not as a member, but kind of at the meetings downstairs. And I noticed the bike rack outside and the open and affirmingness of the church, you know, somewhere that would welcome me and my partner. As we came in, the people welcomed us and really wanted us to become members. They made us feel welcome here.
The Burt family has played a big role in the whole development of the town of Longmeadow, as well as the establishment of this church. In 1716, the community built this square little box of a building that they called the Meeting House. There was a young man by the name of Nathaniel Burt who got paid $2 a year to drum up the community, playing his drum to announce church services. Many years later, we had a bigger building, and poor Nathaniel couldn't keep up with the drumming. So they first got a small bell, and then later we got a bigger bell, and that bell was made by the Paul Revere Company in Boston.
So the Witness Stones Project is a project that was started by a middle school teacher who discovered that there had been enslaved individuals in the town. And it's a project to remember the history and honor the humanity of those that lived and worked and worshiped in our town of Longmeadow. So this has been an incredible collaboration between the church, the Longmeadow Historical Society, and the schools. It really wouldn't have come together without the incredible support of the church and the work that the church members have done to bring the Witness Stones Project to the community and to the light.
All my life, this church has been really influential to me. I started coming here ever since I was a very little child, and I just felt I had to give back to it in any way I could. Specifically, I wanted to work in the kids' youth ministry in order to help out in the areas that I understood.
Our relationship with First Church is fantastic. It's one of our most treasured in all of Greater Springfield. Donations, whether it be food or monetary, goes a long way to help our kitchen, and our relationship with the church is as strong as ever.
Being a church that not only survives but thrives matters because we're making a difference in the community every year. And if we're able to get ahead of taking care of our building, we'll be able to continue serving the community fully and faithfully for 300 more years to come.
Well, a major gift to the capital campaign, there are no specific thresholds being set by our team. Our belief is that a major gift is a gift that is significant to you and your family. My wife Barbara and I have already made a gift that feels significant to us, and we can only hope that the other people who we know feel the same way about this church will give serious consideration and make their gift accordingly.
I was talking with somebody early on in the campaign, and they asked, why should I give $100,000 to the church when I could give it to a food pantry? And I responded by saying our church gives over $100,000 every year to causes like food pantries and homeless shelters and other needs in the community. Churches that close their doors or cease to exist stop making a difference in the community and world in the way that they had in the past. A lot of churches these days are smaller than their buildings, so they have a hard time utilizing the space that they have. But between our congregation, the school that meets in our building, all of our recovery groups, we're using every inch of this building every week. It's truly an asset to our ministries. It allows us to reach out to the community. It allows us to serve the community in profound ways. Your generous pledges to this campaign will help us to keep our doors wide open and to continue to serve fully and faithfully in our community.
Bring the Witness Stones Project to the community and to the light.
All my life, this church has been really influential to me. I started coming here ever since I was a very little child, and I just felt I had to give back to it in any way I could. Specifically, I wanted to work in the kids' youth ministry in order to help out in the areas that I understood.
Our relationship with First Church is fantastic. It's one of our most treasured in all of Greater Springfield. Donations, whether it be food or monetary, goes a long way to help our kitchen, and our relationship with the church is as strong as ever.
Being a church that not only survives but thrives matters because we're making a difference in the community every year. And if we're able to get ahead of taking care of our building, we'll be able to continue serving the community fully and faithfully for 300 more years to come.
Well, a major gift to the capital campaign, there are no specific thresholds being set by our team. Our belief is that a major gift is a gift that is significant to you and your family. My wife Barbara and I have already made a gift that feels significant to us, and we can only hope that the other people who we know feel the same way about this church will give serious consideration and make their gift accordingly.
I was talking with somebody early on in the campaign, and they asked, why should I give $100,000 to the church when I could give it to a food pantry? And I responded by saying, our church gives over $100,000 every year to causes like food pantries and homeless shelters and other needs in the community. Churches that close their doors or cease to exist stop making a difference in the community and world in the way that they had in the past. A lot of churches these days are smaller than their buildings, so they have a hard time utilizing the space that they have. But between our congregation, the school that meets in our building, all of our recovery groups, we're using every inch of this building every week. It's truly an asset to our ministries. It allows us to reach out to the community. It allows us to serve the community in profound ways. Your generous pledges to this campaign will help us to keep our doors wide open and to continue to serve fully and faithfully in our community.
There we go. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's going to be put up somewhere on our website so that if you want to see it again or want to share it with anybody else in the church or outside the church for that matter, by all means, please do. The more that see it, the merrier. Likewise, these beautiful case statements that you received, we're down to our last 500 of them, so feel free to share them with as many people as you think might be interested in what we're doing. I get to talk just a little bit about what's on page 8, which is this multicolored chart. We're assuming we're going to have a wildly successful campaign, but we thought it was important to remind everybody why we're doing this in terms of what things we hope to get done to preserve this building. You've already heard from Doug about the wonderful support we got from the community and the CPC for our grant. A special thanks, by the way, to Arlene Miller, who is a member of this congregation as well as the CPC, who whispered in our ear and said, you know, you don't need to worry anymore about churches not qualifying for CPC money. And we did it, and what do you know? She was right. So that was a tremendous way to get it started. It set the stage so we could begin a capital campaign knowing that we weren't going to have a roof that leaked and that our steeple was solid. So with that done, we're ready to begin the capital campaign. If you look at from the top down, it really it starts with the things that we absolutely have to do, and then it leads down to the things that we really want to do. We need to restore the historic building. We did tell the town when we applied for the CPC grant that we were planning to have a capital campaign where we would raise at least an equal amount of money to restore the outside of the building. So what does that mean? That means we have to paint and restore the building exterior. There are some windows that we need to renovate and replace. There's some work that needs to be done on the parsonage to keep that as a valuable part of our campus. We need to replace the elevator mechanical system, as you well know. That's already underway. We took a loan from our own endowment fund so that we could fund that because we knew we didn't have time to wait. So part of this campaign is to repay that money into the endowment fund and finish the work. And as Doug said in service today, that work is ongoing as we speak. It'll be done within the next several weeks. We also wish to renovate the bathrooms on this space, on this level, again, mainly to make this a community resource that will support the needs of the future. And it's a little hard to do with a bathroom that dates back to just after the invention of the flush toilet. We have additional roof restoration beyond the new slate roof on the sanctuary. We have several areas of flat roof behind it. Those were actually, most of those were done the last time we had a capital campaign some 30 years ago, so they need to be redone. We have a chimney that is falling down up on one of those flat roofs. That needs to be rebuilt in a way that meets today's needs. And so those things, if you look down there, there's 800,000, those first three things of what has to be done. We have no choice on those things. Those have to happen one way or another. They also have to happen pretty soon. Our plan is to repaint the outside of the building this summer. Marika is already out there soliciting final bids from vendors because we need to line it up so we can get the work done while school is out of session. So that also means we need to raise at least enough money to pay for that piece by this summer. So we'll come back to that later. Enhancing community space. We'd like to renovate the current air conditioning we have and expand it to some other areas of the building, including possibly the sanctuary. We want to upgrade our fire safety capabilities. There's some signage, carpeting, furnishings, and you may have noticed there's just a slight little crack in the ceiling of the sanctuary that rains on poor Dan every time he plays the piano. So we need to repair all that, and we need to repaint the sanctuary ceiling. We have upgrades to our electrical and our sound and technology. We do a wonderful job, Stan in particular, at getting our services and our events out to the wider world, but we'd like to keep working on that and make it even more bulletproof as we go in the future. The kitchen, which was when we looked at this, was the most popular thing that we considered doing, needs a major upgrade. It certainly needs some energy efficiency as opposed to what's there today. And as any of you who have ever renovated a kitchen know, you can spend whatever you want on a kitchen restoration. We're putting a stake out there that says we'd like to have $300,000 available to do the work there. And finally, we'd like to raise enough money that we can have a new section of our endowment fund called the Capital Improvement Fund. Our current property endowment funds go pretty much, the income from those go pretty much to paying our bills on an operational basis. As a result, we've had, like many organizations, have had a lot of deferred maintenance. We'd like to be in a position where we have an endowment fund that's dedicated strictly to capital improvements in the future, so that even after we get done repainting this building this summer, we know that there's going to come a day in the future we got to do it again. And rather than have a capital campaign, we'd like to have the ability to plan capital expenditures by having an endowment fund there. And if we are able to reach our goal, which is $2.5 million